Wow. Hey, nice shirt, bud.
Hey, nice shirt, pal.
Folks, Eddie Rosenthal here alongside co-founder of Husker Hype Radio, Aaron Worsfold. Guys, once again, welcome. And I mean it with my all in my heart. Welcome to another podcast of Husker Hype Radio. We're still hype, folks. Week 2, Colorado. We lost. You saw the game. We lost. We came into the game very, very high morale. I mean, Aaron, let's just talk about it from the start. We come into Boulder wearing our bleed red shitcorn t-shirts, end up on big noon kickoff. I mean, I'm getting my shades taken off of me. I'm getting my shirt trying to get ripped off of me. You're holding a flag, a Nebraska flag, a beautiful the one at that, and it's trying to be torn down. Hits a lady in the face, gets mad at us. We say, lady, that's your own people.
Yeah. Well, okay. That was the most rowdy, fucked up crowd I've ever been a part of. It was mob mentality. Everybody was pissed off. All the Colorado fans were out for heads. They're like, "Oh, we're finally good. Let's be assholes about it."
Yep.
From what I understand, half the student body is from California, bunch of rich kids.
Yep. And they're all probably all coked out on daddy's money at 7 a.m. in the morning, snorting some fucking bumps, getting riled,
Right.
saying fuck Nebraska. And that's all they were saying. They weren't saying SCO buffs.
Right.
It was fuck Nebraska. We were doing go big red. They were doing fuck Nebraska. And that's just kind of the people that you're dealing with there. I mean, granted, it is a rivalry. I do like that part of it. If we won, I would have been chirping a little more than I was. But man, I'm going to tell you, none of that shit would have happened in Lincoln. There would have been some trash talk, but not, hey, I'm gonna fuck your girlfriend, fuck you, fuck Nebraska, fuck everything about you, fuck Herbie, what even is a Husker. I mean, I heard the same shit 20 times over and over.
Yeah.
And it was pretty despicable.
I agree, Eddie. There's really nothing else to say about their fans. They stormed the field. They beat Nebraska. They stormed the field.
Classic.
We got in a couple of scuffles in the stadium that we're not going to talk about.
You don't want to talk about it?
No, Eddie, I had a poor review from my mother. I got home. They're saying too many F-bombs and stuff like that.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it makes sense. They don't get it. My mom's like, why can't you be more PG? And I was like, Mom, our slogan is bleed red shit corn. And that's another thing about these Colorado fans is that they just kept saying bleed red shit. And they just didn't see the corn. I don't know. Every Nebraska fan I've seen understood it the first time. They're like, oh, bleed red shit corn. The Colorado fans thought we were shitting red blood, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. Some hammered lady who was on her way to get a DUI back to her car. After the game, they won, and she's still mad for some reason.
Yeah.
Telling us that we're about to go on our period.
Now we have hemorrhoids. Yeah.
Really didn't understand.
And I had just got done saying on the walk back to our car, yo, honestly, most of these fans haven't been too bad. A lot of the older ones have been nice. They've been saying, thanks for coming out, get home safe, stuff like that. All the students were assholes. Young people were assholes. And then right when I said that on the way back to the car, the next old people we walked by were like, you have hemorrhoids. Your pussy's bleeding. I'm like, dude, come on.
Yeah. I mean, what can you do, man? Hostile territory. I just hope they come to Lincoln and really feel like assholes, when they lose and we say, hey, great game. You guys did a good one. DEIONS a good coach. And that's what it's going to be from everybody. Maybe the students go prime time in their face a little bit, but yeah, I don't know, man. Let's get into the game here. We lost 36-7. Aaron, the name of the game again. How did I say we were going to win this game? Win the turnover battle and win the time of possession. We lost both.
Yep.
Jeff Sims again. I'm going to say all 4 fumbles were his fault, man. 1 interception, 2 fumbles on him, another 2 on Gabe Irvin Jr., another one on Luke Lindenmeyer, Papillion graduate.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But it was Jeff Sims, the one with Luke Lindenmeyer, came in motion, hit Buddy, Jeff didn't have the snap timed correctly, so that's one on Jeff Sims. The other one, Gabe Irvin Jr. comes for a counter play, and if you're the quarterback, you make sure that handoff gets in your running back's hand. He didn't, so it's a fumble credited to Gabe, but in reality, that's Jeff's fault. So 3 fumbles, 1 interception, all on Jeff's conscience. Yeah, man, can't have that happen. And did we have any turnovers?
We had one at the end of the game that we scored on, but it was kind of some bullshit that didn't really matter.
Yeah. I think we left before that. And we did leave not because we're not true Husker fans, because we did not want to get chirped at.
It was already starting.
Aaron goes, Eddie, we're staying this whole game. And I
go,
Aaron, no, a fight will break out 100%. Yes. We need to leave.
And I was like, no, we're fucking staying. And then like 10 seconds later, I looked around and I could already just hear people chirping, looking at us. And I was like, we're leaving. Let's get out of here right now.
It was the right decision. Definitely the right decision. I mean, yeah, let's just talk about the offense. Besides Jeff Sims, Billy Kemp saw a lot of actions, 5 reception for 57 yards. That's opposed to a 0 carries first game against Minnesota. We really needed to see Billy Kemp out there. Billy Kemp provided for us. Thomas Fidone with a couple of touches. Not as much as I think that we want from him in the future games, but he did have them. We did locate Thomas. Other wide receivers, Marcus Washington made a few plays. Alex Bullock dropped a huge pass in the third quarter on 3rd and 16. Really killed the momentum of that drive. Yeah. I mean, our offensive line got the ball running a little bit. Gabe Irvin, 17 carries, 74 yards, averaging 5.5 yards a carry. That's not bad football, man. That's really not bad football. Those numbers right there, that sounds good. Ramir Johnson there as well. Popped a 24-yard run, I believe. Gabe's biggest run was 44 yards. But besides that, I mean, what do you have to say about the offensive line, Aaron?
Okay. See, Eddie, this is something that you and I were going back and forth when we were all getting a phone call, when we were all kinds of banged up. And you're like, Jeff Sims sucks. We need to get him off the team. And I was like, dude, I don't know. I mean, like, he's not bad. Just give him his time. The offensive line's not giving a lot of time in the pocket. And somewhere in the middle lies the truth. So my take here on the O-line is they're better than they were. They're not great. I think the biggest takeaway I have is that our coaching scheme isn't like really put together correctly in our passing game. Like we keep talking about Fidone, you want to see him get more touches, some quick throws to him. We don't really do a lot of quick throws in the flats to get our ball carriers, playmakers, the ball quickly, which is what a lot of like Texas, we were watching them, Alabama, they're just running plays that you're like, wow, they're just getting the fast guys, they're dynamic guys, the ball quickly in space. And we just don't really do stuff like that, it feels like.
Yeah, I mean, my thing, offensive line, right side, not horrible. We got Norin Newelli, our German boy, and then Bryce Benhart at right tackle. Ben Scott at center, not doing bad. Those snaps were not his fault whatsoever. Jeff Sims just didn't catch the football. That left side, though, man, I went back and watched the game today. Absolutely atrocious play by Turner Corcoran. Buddy cannot, I don't know what it is. His feet don't move. He keeps his head down. Every sack that we had, or every negative yards play that we had, you can look at the line and 95% of the time that was from the left side and Turner missing a block. So I just pray that Teddy gets back to 100% safely, and hopefully he can be the guy that takes the most important position on offense and makes it good, because Turner's just not cutting it, man. He's not, and neither is Ethan Piper. He's the guy that we chose to represent our team at Big Ten Media Days, and I'm not seeing what Coach Rule and Donovan Raiola are seeing out of him, man. I'm really not.
I agree completely, Ed. I when I rewatched the game, that's what I saw as well, because that was my biggest thing, was the O-line sucks, but really they were good enough to win the game. I
Yes,
think.
and as far as you going with play calling, I do agree. I do think that we should do a little bit shorter passes. Give it to Fedoni more, Bo Kircher, find those guys, short little pop plays, little 5-yard outs to guys like Billy Kemp and put Heinrich in there. Fuck. But also it's this coach, he's expected these guys, to execute on the field. And we're not doing that. And he wants to run the ball on first down and, get 5 yards and have a nice, easy 2nd and 5. But when our offensive line isn't performing to the standards that they're supposed to be at, that makes play calling a hell of a lot harder,
Yeah. I think it's kind of somewhere in the middle lies the truth with that one. Like the play calling could be a little different. They need to execute, but they also need to just like put people in position to win. Because sometimes, like, you got to play to the strengths of their team too. Like, their DBs are really good. We can get it out. We have fast guys on the edge. Like,
but
there's just little things, I feel like.
What do you do as a coach when you're driving down the field
Yeah.
looking really good and Jeff Sims fumbles, or you're driving down the field looking good and Alex Bullock misses a catch on 3rd and 16 that would have been a first down?
Yeah.
I mean, those are things that you can't control as a coach, that you've set your team up, to win, and it doesn't work. And 3rd down, folks, 4 for 13 on 3rd down. So that's a thing that Nebraska really needs to work on. Something, like I said, those 1st, 2nd down, that's super important. Getting yards on 1st down, I feel like, is going to be really important for this team going forward, not trying to get us in a passing situation. Yeah.
And then we just had to keep passing a lot because we're down 2-3 scores. Right. So we have to try to play catch up. We can't really do that because of what's going on. Right. And you're right, Eddie, like especially the first drive, when I rewatched the game, they're driving down the whole way. I'm like, oh, I already know what's going to happen. I'm like, oh, we're about to score. Like, these guys are moving the damn ball.
You felt the energy in the stadium that Nebraska was going down that football field and putting 6 on the board right away.
And nonetheless, like, even if they wouldn't get 6, they're in field goal position. Like, they're going to bang a field goal. We're going to go up 3-0 right away. First drive, we're putting points on the board. Right. And then, because then they have to punt their first 4 possessions. They didn't score until there was 5 minutes left in the second quarter. So it's not like they were killing us the whole game or whatever, but that's like the narrative, is that Nebraska sucks. But we really held our own, and we just didn't capitalize on our defense, and we didn't. The turnovers, Ed, the fucking turnovers, dude. Three turnovers in the first half.
You just can't win, man. And Jeff Sims has not been practicing out with an ankle injury, so I don't know. He didn't practice today. He might practice tomorrow, so there's a chance that we'll see either Chuba or Heinrich under center for the Big Red.
I'm hearing Chuba has a groin tweak. That's why Heinrich was playing more this week. And so from what I'm hearing, if Jeff can't play Harburg, he'll be starting. But honestly, if we just beat the shit out of NIU like we should, like, we might just see all the boys play.
Like we should, Aaron.
Like we should.
Let's put that there. Not talk about that yet. Let's talk about the defense very quick. I mean, dude, I'm not going to say outstanding job. I'm going to say a B+ from the defense. I'm going to give the defense a B+. I mean, they allowed 396 passing yards, 58 rushing yards, 454 in total. 58 rushing yards, man. Let's go Big Red. Black shirt football. I mean, that's exactly what you want to do. 8 sacks, 11 tackles for loss. Nebraska leads the nation in sacks, dude. A stat about that, and that makes you happy, excited for the future of black shirt football. Tons of freshmen as well. Cam Lenhart stepped in there first half for Tyler Robinson. 2 sacks for the kid, Riley Van Poppel, another freshman, a sack from him. And then Princewell William. Got to try to figure out how to pronounce that name, but he did a hell of a job too. I mean, those guys are playing, and open field tackling is something that I was super impressed with. A team where, Colorado is building from the outside in, has so many athletes that Dion brought in. And I think that we were holding our own there, except for a few big plays down the field that really did kill us, that they did capitalize and score on.
Yeah. I mean, they had less than 75 yards in their first 5 drives. Like, if you would have told me that, I'd have been like, fuck, Ed. let's go.
Nebraska wins. We're up 14-0. You know,
right. And so you can't really, especially the first half, like the defense played lights out. It was really down the stretch, like you're saying, when they were breaking out big yardage. Defense is getting tired. They're on the field after turnovers and 3 and outs.
I mean, I did watch a little Busted with the Boys. I did hear Will Compton. This is his quote. He says, you know, the defense did get tired because the offense is never on the field, turning it over, putting us in bad field position. Colorado average starting field position at their own 49. I mean, that's 51 yards to get a touchdown, and that's not where you want to be. It didn't help those big plays that Colorado did pull a few times, kind of kept us, you know, in our own territory. But yeah, dude, the defense played a good enough game to win.
The
defense played,
and you know how the narrative goes too, Ed. Like if we're within 6 points in the fourth quarter, defense is playing a lot better, guaranteed, than how they played when we're down 3 scores, 2 scores, whatever it was at that time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Dude,
like
it's momentum. It's the energy in Folsom. I mean, Colorado, I give them props. They got loud in the stadium a couple times. I was kind of impressed by that. But we could have totally stopped that with a touchdown on the first drive with no fucking dumb turnovers. And none of those turnovers were Colorado's. Like it wasn't caused by them.
Right.
That was all our own mistakes.
Right.
But yeah, back to defense. I mean, I do think one thing, like I said, big plays, and then also let's create some more turnovers on defense, man. A great defense creates turnovers, pops the ball loose, has an interception. Tony White said in this press conference today, you know, these guys were 6 inches away from a lot of big plays. I rewatched the game and I saw Nash, Hutmaker, Polar Bear back at Shedeur like 4 or 5 times where he almost sacked him, just 6 inches away. And that's the difference from, you know, a sack versus a 40-yard bomb by Shedeur or a big run down the middle from Dylan Edwards. And Aaron, I think that besides Michigan, maybe Wisconsin, these are going to be the best athletes on the perimeter that will play all year. And our secondary didn't do a bad job against these guys. Yeah, Michigan and Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Michigan for sure, maybe Wisconsin, but
no, I was thinking that too, Ed, because I was trying to process how the rest of the season is going to go in my mind, and I was thinking about
we're going 9-3. We're going.
Yeah, I was thinking about all the other Big Ten teams, and I was like, well, like Wisconsin just lost to like a decent Wazoo team, and our defense is fucking better than them. I was like, Iowa barely beat Iowa State. Our defense is better than Iowa State, and our offense is better than Iowa State. We could be in that game. That's at home. So I'm just piecing things together in my mind, and I'm like, dude, we're not out of the season.
No. I mean, something has to happen at the 2 most important positions in football, and that's quarterback and left tackle. And those are the ones that we are severely lacking at right now. And if we fix those, bud, we're 9-3. I don't think we're going to beat Michigan. I just don't see it happening as much as I want it to. This is Husker Hype Radio, bleed red shit corn. On Saturday when we play Michigan, you bet your ass I'm saying we're going to beat Michigan. But
yeah,
right now,
there's still 3 weeks. Like, what if we just kill NIU, look good, have Harburg in? He looks great. And then we kill La Tech. And at that point, we're going into Michigan with a lot of momentum at home. Yeah. The Barstool Sports game day is going to be there.
Really? But yeah, the Bussin Trophy, the boy will be there. You gotta toss him a bleed red shake corn t-shirt, dude.
You already know.
Yeah. Make sure you toss him. Full Husker Hype Radio on it. Yeah, make sure he gets a koozie too, so he sees on Husker Hype Radio.
Yeah.
But
I'll stuff the shirt in the koozie and then throw it at him and say, "Look in the koozie. There's a t-shirt."
There you go. Yeah, man. Time of possession. I mean, we didn't lose by much. Nebraska 29-41, Colorado 30-19. So that just shows you how many times we drove the football down the field and did not capitalize. Only 1 fucking touchdown. Missed field goal by Tristan Alvano, hit the freaking upright, man. We saw it. We were right behind that. Yeah, and I don't want to blame it too much on Tristan. It was a 49-yarder. He's a true freshman playing against Colorado. Momentum is all the way towards Colorado.
Dude, it was a doink too. It just boing, and then everybody, all of us just looked at each other like, oh my God, Colorado's erupting, and we're just like, shoot.
Yeah. And dude, how many times? I mean, this defense, they just fire me up, man. These guys, Colorado did drive it down the field a few times, but dude, how many times did they hold them to a field goal when they average starting position at their own 49? You know, and those
Mhm.
guys were playing lights out. 8 fucking sacks. Are you kidding me, dude?
11
That's big.
tackles for loss. Oof.
That's big time. So yeah, I mean, defense is ready to win. Offense need to find something going. I don't think our run game is horrible. Gabe Irvin and Ramir Johnson really doing it. I think Anthony Grant didn't see the field at all.
Yep.
Um, but
I'd
yeah,
like
man,
to see Ramir get the ball more, especially just like an explosive plays or like outside stuff, just getting them in open field.
I do
Fast.
I do like the rotation though. I
Yeah.
mean, they're just getting fresh legs, and Gabe
Yeah.
is definitely our number one guy. So keep giving him the ball, and third down when we put Ramir in, or maybe third down, keep him for the next first down and have him try to pop one. I kind of like what they're doing at the running back position for
Yeah.
sure. Maybe a little bit more Ramir, you're right. But
Just
yeah,
like
other than
use him,
that,
just use him certain ways. Get him the ball. He's a ball player.
yeah,
Do we see any option plays versus Colorado? I don't recall any.
we saw one option play at the end and it got us 9 yards. And I think that early in the first half, we tried a little bit of option and Jeff didn't really see it as well as I thought he should have. Um, yeah. And then not a lot of fullback either. Under center a few times, a lot of shotgun. Again, that might be just playing to catch up, not really going with our game plan. Um, but yeah, man. Colorado, Nebraska, we lost 36-7. The score is not as bad as what went down on the field.
I agree. And that's something that really pissed me off when I was listening to like national media, your ESPNs of the world, and all the people just liking Dion so much. Because he's on Fox, he's on ESPN, he's literally CBS. He's like goes on every talk show every week. He's the only coach in the nation that does that. That's
Dude,
just like that's kind of bullshit, to be quite
dude,
fair.
next week, college game day and big noon kickoff are
Dude,
going to be in
for
Folsom.
for Colorado State, they could have picked a
Yeah.
better game, dude.
And then watch it. One of them two will be at Colorado, Oregon next week. And then the next week, it's going to be Colorado, USC at Colorado.
I mean, don't get me wrong, they put asses in seats. The Colorado Nebraska game was the number 2 watch game, like right behind Texas Alabama. But
That's because I feel like you should also give props to Nebraska there. I don't
right,
that TCU Colorado was not nearly as much as watch as Nebraska Colorado was.
right.
But yeah, man, I really do think that we're just shooting ourselves in the foot too much here. Definitely a game we could have won, but we didn't, man. So it's on to the next week. Are you done with Colorado? Let's talk NIU. Bless you.
I didn't really do too much pregame for NIU because I was just thinking about it in my head, and I'm like, there's no way we could do worse than how I felt the first 2 weeks. I know we're gonna kill these guys.
Yeah, I mean, I watched Marcus Satterfield and Tony White interview. I did listen to a little bit of the Matt Rule interview, and he kind of just said all the shit that we reiterated, uh, just right there. But Marcus Satterfield said, Coach Rule told the coaching staff, "Hey guys, we're freaking coaching football in Memorial Stadium this weekend, baby. We're playing a game in Memorial Stadium this weekend, and you bet your ass that thing's going to be sold out. Aaron's going to be there."
Mm-hmm.
Get your shirts from Aaron. If you see the kid, he'll have them on him. I mean, he'll take the shirt off your back
My
if you
back.
want to buy it from him. Yep.
Yep.
He'll take the shirt off your back. That's who we are around here. This is Husker Hype Radio, man. But yeah, Nebraska, NIU. I remember NIU 1-1 this season, beat Boston College first game in overtime, 24-27, then lost to Southern Illinois 14-11. So 1-1. Nebraska did lose back in 2017 in Lincoln. 21-17. NIU won. I remember that game a lot for some reason. It was a Mike Riley year, one of his last years. And I remember going to my dad. I said, "Dad, what is life? What are we doing here, man? Northern Illinois? Those dogs just pounded us. Those little Huskies just pounded us. We did win in 2019, Scott Frost's first season, 44-8. Now this is Coach Rule's turn. I think we're gonna win the ball game. Hopefully so, man.
Yeah, we're gonna win.
Yeah, we're gonna win. We're gonna win. God damn it, I hope we're gonna win. Jesus Christ, I hope we win.
No, we're gonna win. Eddie, what the fuck? What the fuck are you saying? You hope
this is Husker hype, man. But Aaron, I am. I don't want to say that I'm being delusional. I know that we'll win against Northern Illinois, but some parts of me are telling me I've told so many people how we're gonna win every single game, and we fucking lose, man.
Okay, okay. Let me ask you a question, Eddie, and this is a good question. If we start our season with Northern Illinois and La Tech, and then play Minnesota, Colorado, what's our record? Exactly.
We're 4-0.
Thank you. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, dude.
So think about it like that. If we every other team gets a fucking get right game but us. And so this is our get right game. This game and our next game are get right games.
Nebraska, the only Power 5 team to play two Power 5 conferences at away first 2 weeks of the season. Nebraska, dude, the only one.
That's tough.
The only one. And that's a fact, brother. That is a fact, Husker Hype Radio Nation. And first-year head coach, and you're putting that on the guy. The nation just wants us to lose, pal. They're not rooting for the Big Red. They're not rooting for the Big Red. And another thing Marcus Satterfield said, hey, we play these first two big games away. It's sucking now, but it's going to be good later. You know, you got to get that suck out of you, and you got to really see who you are as a team, what you can be. And, buddy, we go into Lincoln fired up. The guys, the 64 new players finally get experience game day in Lincoln under the lights. I mean, that place is going to be electric. And that defense, I'm going to say here right now, defense has 3 turnovers. 3 turnovers by the defense. Northern Illinois' offense, quarterback Rocky Lombardi, a name that you might remember. I think it was Scott Frost's first season as well. Michigan State, the game was snowy. It was a classic Big Ten football game, 9-6 W. God, man, that's Big Ten football, baby.
We were both there, weren't we?
Huh?
We were both there.
I wasn't there, no.
I was there.
You were there. Yeah, I know you were there. Yeah. Anyways, Rocky this season, I don't know how long he's been at NIU, but he's 36 for 66, 462 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, kind of a lot like our boy Jeff, except that Rocky has double the passing yards. That's all I got on the offense. I do know that their running back and their wide receiver, both of those guys, they're kind of hefty on the first ones. Ontario Brown, 38 carries for 112 yards, averaging 2.9 carries, but that's nothing close to Gavin Williams having only 17 carries. And then the receiver, Kakper Rutquitz, 11 reception, 185 yards. Those are the guys that they're going to a lot. And then other receivers, average stats. So it's really an offense that if we hone in on their star players, I think that these black shirts can take advantage of it. A good game for what Tony White said, execute. He's trying to make the defense simple. Let's execute and let's play our football. Mm-hmm. And now it all comes down to the offense. I feel like hopefully they gain a lot of confidence this game. Turner Corcoran, buddy, we got your jersey on the fucking koozie, man. And we're rooting for you, pal, but I don't know if I actually am. Honestly, I take that back. Give me Teddy, dude.
We're rooting for everybody. We want everybody to do good that has an N on the side of their helmet.
I do, but it's hard when Turner goes in there and every single play. If you look at Turner Corcoran, after every play you go, what the fuck was that kid doing? I don't know, Aaron. I'm Husker Hype all the way.
We're Husker Hype. We're going to win the game. Do you want to get into the gambling challenge here, quickhead?
Let's get into the gambling challenge.
Okay. First game.
Let me go one more thing here with that defense. Tony White, he's really given a lot of credit to his coaches, T. Knight, Evan Cooper, guys making open field tackles. Those guys rotating on the defensive line. Those line players are playing all three spots. You know, you could see T-Rob at the edge. You could see Lenhart in the middle. Then next play, you see T-Rob in the middle and Polar Bear on the edge. I mean, those guys are playing all three positions. They're really figuring it out. And Tony says, hey, we want to make the defense as simple as possible and have these guys just play ball, you know? And I feel like they're doing a good job at doing that. And this defense is going to go off this game.
Absolutely.
They're going to go nuts. Let's go. Bets.
Okay, first game. The one I have is Virginia plus 14.5 at Maryland, over under 49.5.
I got Maryland with the spread here. Tua Leah, whatever his name is. That's all I got to say.
I like the spread on this one, Ed, and I'll tease that for later because I have the over 49.
Okay,
points
so
are being scored.
Your bet is over 49 for Virginia, Maryland?
Yep.
Okay.
Next one, Western Michigan plus 28.5 at Iowa.
I mean, dude, Iowa hasn't even scored 28 fucking points in both of their games. Yep. So this is easy for me, Western Michigan.
I agree.
Buddy, that's all I got to say.
That's free money. Next game, your Nebraska Cornhuskers have Northern Illinois. They're minus 11.5 point favorites, over under 43.
First thing I did when I saw this, I was feeling a little weird when I was picking these, and I said, man, I just don't know. But now, dude, it's go big red all the fucking way. Give me Nebraska plus 28 or minus 28, bitch. Even though it's minus 11.5. I mean, I got Nebraska with the spread.
Okay. I got the spread too for Nebraska. Next game, Penn State minus 14.5 at Illinois. This is a team of Illinois that I was high on it. I've been betting on them every week, and I've lost money on them every week. Yep. With that being said, I picked Penn State minus 14.5.
My reason as well.
Next game, we have Louisville minus 10 at Indiana, over under 52.
I got, and then the spread is plus or minus 10 or
yep. Louisville minus 10.
I got plus 10 Indiana.
Nice. I have Louisville, so that's a good head-to-head versus Aaron and Ed on that one.
I think that Tom Allen's getting a little bit disrespected. I think that I like Indiana.
Okay, Georgia Southern plus 19 at Wisconsin, over under 64.5.
I got plus 19.5 Georgia Southern. Clay Helton, former USC head coach. Wisconsin lost to Wazoo. Give me plus 19.5.
I have the under 64.5. I don't see that many points being scored. Next game, Minnesota plus 7.5 at North Carolina, a good North Carolina team. Over unders 50.
A good North Carolina team, but won in double overtime first week against Appalachian State. I got plus 7.5 Minnesota.
Awesome. I have UNC minus 7.5. Their offense is a lot better than Minnesota's, and I don't think Minnesota's defense is really that great. So,
okay.
Next game, Northwestern plus 18.5 at Duke, over under 48.5.
Plus 18.5 Northwestern.
Good. I got Duke, so another head-to-head versus us there. Virginia Tech plus 7 at Rutgers, over under 39.5.
Where is that? You go. I have plus 6.5 Va Tech.
I have Rutgers.
Okay.
Plus Western Kentucky plus 28 at Ohio State, over under 63.
I got Western Kentucky plus 28. I'm choosing the dogs on a lot of these.
I like that. I got under 63.
Okay.
Next game, Washington minus 16 at Michigan State, who just lost their head coach, over under 57.5.
Washington getting disrespected with the spreads here, man. They've fucking blown out both the teams they've played. Easy money, Washington minus 16. Nice.
I'm going under on this one too. I wanted that Washington spread too, but I didn't pull it. So Bowling Green plus 40.5 at Michigan, over under 53.5.
Plus 40.5 Bowling Green.
Yep.
Same thing with Iowa. Michigan hasn't even scored 40 points this season yet.
I have the same thing there, Ed. Syracuse minus 2.5 at Purdue. Over under 58.
I got plus 2.5 Purdue here. That's kind of a get. That's a flip a coin.
Another head to head. I got Syracuse minus 2.5. We'll go to the SEC first. I have BYU at Arkansas over 47.5.
BYU at Arkansas 40. Okay, I like that. I do like that. I have Tennessee, Florida. What do they call that game? The world's largest cocktail party? No, that's Florida, Georgia.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Minus 6.5 Tennessee. Tennessee wins by a touchdown. Come on, baby.
Okay. Big 12. I have Pitt minus 1 at West Virginia. I got Pitt winning that game.
Okay. Yeah. I'm with you. West Virginia, not a good football team. Dana Holgerson on his way out. Texas at Wyoming here, or Texas, Wyoming. I think it's at Texas. I have over 48.5. I didn't do the spread. I didn't get that one.
Pac-12, San Diego State at Oregon State. I have the over 49. Oregon State likes to score.
Okay. UTEP at Arizona. Spread is plus or minus 18 Arizona. I got plus 18 UTEP. Don't think Arizona's that good of a football team. ACC here. You lost your.
Oh, you got UTEP winning that game?
Yep, I got UTEP plus 18. Not winning, plus 18. Clemson and Florida Atlantic. Casey Thompson, that guy. I got the under 50.5. I don't think either of those quarterbacks are excelling as much as either team wants them to.
So yeah, sorry, what'd you say on that one? I fucked up.
Clemson FAU. I have under 50.5 for that game.
And then the reason why I teased the Maryland Virginia game is because I also have Maryland minus 14.5 against Virginia in the ACC. I double dipped that game. Okay,
folks. That is our weekly pick'ems. Guys, Nebraska wins the football game. Absolutely beats the piss out of the Huskies. This was another episode of Husker Hype Radio, folks. I'm Eddie Rosenthal. That's Aaron Worsfold. Bleed red, shit corn, go big red. We'll see you next week.